everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Hobo, a wandering podcast about cinema. We are here at the 73rd Berlin International Film Festival, and we are very happy to introduce you Sebastian Mihailescu, writer, director, and producer from Romania. And we are with him today to discuss about this new film, Mammalia, premiering here at the Berlinale in the forum section. Mammalia is like a surreal trip into this crisis of manhood and masculinity. It's like a voyage of this 39-year-old old man. We're just introducing the film to our audience, but I would like to start this conversation about the visual part of the film, the aesthetic part of the film, because it's quite remarkable how you composed every fixed shot that creates actually the film. And yesterday at the Q&A, you mentioned Stan Brakhage as an influence on your working method and your cinema. So if you can elaborate a bit more about that, and how do you compose this kind of images of the film? Do you have a storyboard or something like that, or it's actually happened on set?
Actually, first, thank you for inviting me to your video podcast. And yeah, actually, I'm passionate about the roots of the cinema. That's why I insisted to shoot on 16 millimeters in this case, even if it was more expensive, and I had to losing some financial some funding help from other countries. I had to choose between having a week more of shooting and having film or shooting on digital. So I said, if it's a fictional film, if it's I'm trying to tell stories with the minimal means of the cinema. So for me, cinema is light going through the camera, it's sound, and time. So these elements are put forward in front of the assumed. And another starting point was that this was a fictional film. Just a year before, I've just made a hybrid documentary, and I wanted to say that this is fake. This is a fake film. But during this fake framework, I created like a fake framework that says it's fake. And but I tried to create the space for the real testimonies of it. So I've used unprofessional with trying to combine these actors and unprofessionals. The main actors are professional actors, and the rest is a list of unprofessionals with their testimonies for the first time on the camera. So turning to 𝗿്cie, 𝗿്cie is playing with the medium. I like his book Metaphors of Vision was an influence on me. And I really wanted to make. I like the artifact, the crafting experience. How to craft. It should be like, I believe in, because it's a reaction to commercial cinema. I've chosen cinema as a second career for me when I was 27. So I said, if I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it for money. I could have stayed a programmer and live abroad and have a good salary, or stay at home now and. So if I'm choosing this, I don't want to go back to the roots. Maybe I can find something else, not emulating someone else. Maybe I can find my voice through this method. And 𝗿്cie was one of my idols as well. I like his play with the sounds and the found things that he put on film, the scratches and so on. And so I can see his fingerprints there. So it's a unique thing, So I wanted to have this unique quality of. It's like a collage with unique things that I found and put it in my pocket. The film is like a series of that, and maybe create the resemblance of a narrative thread with the main hero that goes somewhere. He wants something, and it's a rejection against workshops and formulaic narratives.
And you mentioned this kind of contrast between the artifacts of cinema and then the reality, and you complicated really your life for this film, because you shot in very in wild nature, so you have this kind of the artificiality of the image, of the composition of the images, and then this natural element that of course is unpredictable.
Because it's like a found object as well. The testimonies of the people are found objects. The fog, when it shot, maybe if I'm putting some fog, artificial fog, it's like you can observe it. It's not. So if I'm putting some lights, you can see the lights that are set up. But the water falling through the waterfall, it's real. The leaves that are falling and the time passing through the forest is real. So maybe they say something. I like haikus a lot. 𝗵𝗁𝗁 was one of my starting points. How you can create small haikus with camera.
And that was the process to the location scouting, because you are talking about these waterfalls and nature, communicate the beautiful vibes between reality and fantasy. So how was the process to
For me, the film has taken almost 7 years to fund, and yeah, and since I was ending my film school, and I was waiting and changing myself, and during that time I received funding for the documentary, because in Romania you cannot apply with another film
All right.
if you have already submitted one with the debut, yeah. So you have to wait, and maybe I'm not good at shorts and so on. I had a short in Locarno and so on, shot on 35mm. That was a defining experience, by the way, with the camera, because even there I would try to not hide that it's, yeah, and I don't like digital that emulates film. I don't like that fakeness, you know. So I think that you should assume the materiality of each medium. If it's
Yeah.
gonna shot on the phone, look like a phone, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, of course.
And going through the film was starting on when in the beginning the film was set up on 2 continents. Asia, it was set up in China, and in Romania. So it was a hero that goes there and becomes, wow, impressed by the whole culture, and somehow, because I was there with a scholarship for 1 month in Chengdu, and I was I was transformed, you know. And I'm passionate about Asian cinema, Asian
Yeah.
culture, and so. And I wanted to surprise that and put it somehow in the film, but it was difficult to fund to Chinese. Yeah. So then I said, okay, if I'm gonna change it, I'm gonna put it set in Romania, but I'm gonna have 2 halves of the films very different.
Different, yeah.
So, okay, I was it's talking about men, women as well. So somehow the first part has this cement forced structures that I found in the woods around Bucharest. It's like it was fertility center from 𝗂𝗆escu's era. Where I found books of genetical disease of animals. They were trying to create all kind of breeds of plants and animals. And this nature who is open, who is not predictable, who's transformative, you know, meditative. I know. It's for me, it's charging. I mean, I'm okay there, and you see me. I'm very anxious. I'm moving a lot. I'm very energetic. But when I'm shooting, and I'm looking through the camera with my DP and staying there and wait, I can wait 20 minutes there. And so I want to put that experience, because I'm there in the present, you know. Otherwise, I'm stolen. My attention is stolen all the time. We are living in a world that is against of this type of cinema anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, as I was saying before, that the attention now the attention span is around 2 seconds or less, is lesser than a mouse. No, come on. And I'm having like the average shot length in my film is like 1 minute and 25 seconds.
Yeah.
So which is a lot. And okay, it's it's uh it's kind of rejection of the entertainment cinema right now, because I cannot do it with my means right now. I mean, the budget was limited, so I'm trying to create the illusion of something very spectacular, yeah, fake. But if I found the really waterfall or a forest that I like, or the lake, yeah, just to create the space to breathe in, you know.
Yeah. And in some way, the trip of this protagonist is filmmaking process itself, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's it.
but I would like to know, do you know, one of the theme of this movie is like the fallacious idea of masculinity that we had nowadays. So the fact that the lack of productivity, or the lack of results in your working daily life brings shame with it. And we usually tend to link these ideas to employers and people who are working in an office. But do you think that it's an idea that is some way linked also to artists and filmmakers?
Of course, for me it was a question, because you cannot live with art films. I mean, the debutant is very difficult. I've done commercials as well to live, and to now I can live a couple of years without working, let's say. So I'm trying to bet everything on my on finding my own voice. But this question of when I was in a long relationship, and I had this pressure of providing. When I was in school and changing my experience at 27 in Romania, you're not even the scholarship. The scholarship was nothing. It's like, and during the summertime doesn't exist. So how can you live? The system that is not providing you the means to live if you're going back to school again to find your, because I cannot believe that I was ready to find cinema to be a director when I was 20, 18 or so, to choose I'm going to be a director. You don't know yourself, So I wanted to be a painter, but I didn't have the courage to go there. So I've chosen polytechnics because it gives you bread on the table, puts bread on the table. So that was a thing that I wanted to it was an anxiety, to make money from this kind of films, not selling yourself and really doing something for yourself. And maybe someone else, the viewers, are finding something in it. And even if the majority will hate you or so, even if creating something divisive, I mean, this is the mission of an artist for me. And then the pressure of having kids. This year I'm turning 40, yeah. So you're like doing the second film. Even if I'm looking at the history of cinema, there are few late bloomers, maybe Hong Sang-soo when he was 36, Clint Eastwood when he was 40, or something like that. But it's this pressure of time passing, and you have to. It's us before death, There is a book of Ernst Becker, I think, the Denial of Death,
Right.
and he says that we are like confronting our mortality every time, and buying immortality with kids, or us artists trying to create something relevant that still stays there after a couple of years. Now it's invaded the films. I mean, there are thousands of films every year, like and how you can stay. What is your relevance as an individual, And I can tell it only from my point of view, because I don't want to put. I'm not fair if I'm trying to be in others' point of view. So I can tell you from the point of view of a guy who turns 40 and he tries to do something relevant for himself while living,
Yeah.
And there is a pressure of this patriarchal and the pressure of society in Romania, which is a bit conservative about this. You have to be like that.
So let's talk about the sound design of the movie. The sound design feels like an organic element of the film's world. Can you tell us a bit more about this presence in the film and how the sound intertwines with the original score by Polish musician 𝗵𝗃𝗃?
As I was telling you before, for me, cinema is like image plus sound. Yeah, it's the basic. So. Having minimal means, it's to have some freedom and to have the freedom to improvise in a limited time. You have in a bigger production, because it's not a very small film, but okay, you are very limited, and to still have your freedom, you have to exploit every element, like your minimal means, and to know them very well. I mean, one of my idols was Robert Bresson. I was wearing the notes on cinematography with me every time. Man, know your resources and use them well. You're like a general planning a battle, and every shot. So I had movements of the actors, I had sound and image, and the sound was I was trying to have like a real sound from the locations, but somehow sometimes when it goes away, I'm gonna explode it and put it in contrast with the image when it's, for example, the jungle sounds, and you can create some effects and some emotions with those elements put together in contrast or in similarity. And that's an element of composition as well, and to express yourself with this. So sounds work like this, and with Piotr, I like his music. He was very experimental. Has done some things in Japan as well, and I just gave him a reference from YouTube or something, like with some metal pedals.
Oh yeah. Right.
And a harp, and the guy had the harp, and it was a coincidence. It's assignment. You have to use the harp, so it's again some forced elements like the metal and so on. And the harp is like more gentle, and we try to play with it. He created something. I didn't want to say, because I don't think everybody's so smart. Audience is smarter than you anyway, you know? So you have to assume your position to be modest and take yourself in a self-ironic way, you know? Otherwise, we're too serious and yeah. So I said, man, do something with this. He sent me some stuff. We put it on the image. I said, wow, can we work it a bit here? And that's it. But I wanted to create an immersive sound, you know?
Yeah.
If you're still staying there and the image doesn't change, you're opening this channel. And reverse, if the image is moving and this one is subdued. And I'm trying to play with this always from the soul.
Yeah, and coming back to the actor's perspective, you said you use professional actors and non-professional actors, and I would like to know what kind of direction you give to them, especially when it comes to the movements in front of the camera, because we have these kind of sudden movements of the actors that creates like a crash in this fixed shot. So I would like to know how do you work on that?
I had two types of actors, yeah. So I had the professional actors, which are Istvan, Molina, his wife, and Denisa from the agency. The rest are unprofessionals. I mean, in the ending, there is appearing with Rolando Matsangos, who played in Sierra Nevada as well, but he had many scenes. I cut it off. They fall down in the editing, and these unprofessionals that I found. Some were found in the extras, between the extras, and they became like main actors. For example, the blonde girl,
All right.
as I was telling in the Q&A, or the other girl with from the entrance to the barrier.
Yeah.
I knew her from my documentary. She was there at the casting. I heard the story. It was very emotional, and it still stick with me, you know. Then I wanted to create this funny scene there. For example, when this guarding lady, which is the first Romanian hip hopper woman in Romania, and it was a homage for her. She had a bigger scene, and she was crushing funny, playing with fighting with Camille, and he was managing to. But I forgot about it. When I remembered and hearing about this, her story, the unprofessional story, girls there with abuse and so on in the orphanage.
Yeah.
You cannot put something invented there. Put it like it's a found object, and that's the valuable thing in those little gems that are around a fake framework.
Yeah.
Because it's a fake film. Come on, we are not trying to say in fictional. Even documentaries are. Everything is manipulated now. When you put a camera, I'm changing myself. I'm not like this in the.
Some situation reminds me like the theater of last century, you know, with the experimental things and theater group of people searching about mythical situation or something like that.
It is because actually talking about the movement, I forgot to and this theater reminded me. Istvan is a dancer. He's a contemporary dancer as well. He's an actor, and I knew him for I don't know 12 years or so. We done some clips, short films or so, and he had the movement. I wanted to have some silent hero. Like I like the silent films as well, theater as well, and that or 𝗵𝗵𝗁 or yeah. And I like to tell a story with another element that I have, another resource, the body of the actors. So maybe if I can use the body or the movement of the actors to add some narrative elements as well, instead of exposing information through dialogue or tight editing. And it's a reaction to commercial stuff as well, advertising, when I have a shooting board, and the seconds, I have to measure everything there. Here it's
And one final question about a lot of things are happening in each scene, and so they are very there are in some moments different focuses of attention, and in this kind of Bruegel painting scene, and you have a lot of things happening, and a lot of just people talking somewhere, and people doing other things in a part of the screen. Do you want to give the viewer the freedom to focus on what they think is important on each scene?
If you want to have something that it's suitable to many more, I know, to more than one reading, I think you should have some elements that you should discover. Even myself, when I was seeing it for the 82nd time during the projections, I was finding some things on the big screen. It's not a film for the laptops or so. So you have to. It's an experience to be there. And if you're staying there for 1 minute with a each shot, at least to put some elements there and to create some little stories in it. I found the bugs in the and they were trying to remove the bugs from each scene. And I said, no, that says something as well. And if I'm looking for the bug symbol in Google it opens to all kinds of significations, and just add it there and to accent it, to put it forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a film that calls for a rewatch.
Yeah,
It's like a painting or it's a poem, and every time you read it,
So-
you see it, you discover something new. So
Yeah.
well, congratulations for this
Thank you.
film, and
Thank you
we
for
really
that.
loved it.
Congratulations.
And thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. And
Thank you.
bye to all our audience, and we'll see you in the next day with another direction, with another film from the 73rd Berlinale. Goodbye.
Bye.